As part of International Women's Day, we're joined now by Nevina from Peekaboo Studios. Hi, Nevina, welcome. Maybe you can give us a bit of background, first of all, to the company.
The name of the company is called Peekaboo Studios, and it basically does what it says on the tin. It's I am a baby, newborn and maternity specialist photographer. So I specialise in those areas. So I know how to handle a newborn baby at just 4 days old, 5 days old. And I know how to work with a maternal mother who's quite heavily pregnant and how she's feeling, if she's tired, how she's going to pose, or even just moving on to the newborn baby, just the fact that it might still have its cord still attached, the fact that its head's not very stable, and need to know how to hold it, how to soothe it, how to wind it. I know a lot more than the new mum will know, because I've just had 10 years experience in it. So they often get called the baby whisperer, just because I'm so natural with it. A lot of the mums and dads, bless them, they'll end up holding their newborn like glass, but I think they get that confidence in me when I just, when I'm just sort of taking their precious bundle and I'm just sort of swinging it over my shoulder and, rocking it and just, walking around with the muslin, and they're so sleep deprived as well. They just feel really comfortable. So it's not just about being a photographer, a newborn photographer, and just clicking that button. About 80% of what I do is working with that newborn and listening for its cues and what it's going to need. And if it does a poo, I'll quickly change its nappy. I ask the parents if it's okay to do all that, but I think they just love it when they can just relax and just watch and just enjoy the experience when I completely just take over.
What would you say were the highlights for you so far? And if you like, your USPs?
The fact that I've been in business for 10 years now. So I've just celebrated my 10-year birthday. So that's amazing for me. Obviously still doing really well through the pandemic, but I'm closed now. And that's where that lovely feature came from in the St Albans newspaper. Obviously that I'm a newborn and maternity photographer, and that's what I specialise in, and that I do it from home. In between the school runs. So I'm just a working mum. So it's a real good work-life balance. And that's what I launched it to be, and it still is now. So I don't work weekends. I just work to suit me, just in between those school runs. Because I work from home, it's a real nice, homely environment. Really relaxed. The newborns that come to me are between 4 to 10 days old. So mums are very, very new to everything. So it's just a nice, relaxed environment. It's not a shop or anything like that. I have a cup of tea, we have a chat, talk about what it is they're looking for in their shoot. And the main thing that my photography is storytelling, is telling the client's story. So I like to get to know them. I like to have a little mini consultation, find out about them, and really let that story come through in their portraits. So every single photograph that I do is different from family to family. They've all got a different story. So the storytelling element, and then just the fact that I like to educate my clients that photographs are really, really important. Family is really important, and I really want that to come through in my photographs, the family element. So a lot of mums and dads don't want to be in the photographs, but I really try and persuade them, to be in the photographs, because it's to exist in photography, basically, because one day that is all we're going to have. I don't just do this for money, for my livelihood. I do it because it strikes a chord in my heart that, I need people to... Nobody prints anymore. Nobody prints photographs anymore. Everything is on the phone.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because, it's really interesting, actually, that there's so much difference now between how we used to do things and how a lot of people are doing it now. They're just saving it on the cloud, maybe.
Yeah.
But...
And where is the cloud? Does anybody know?
I was saying this to my wife the other day. What's going to happen, say in 100 years' time, we get the albums out and we can look back at photographs that are black and white ones from our sort of distant relatives, but you're not going to be able to do that because you won't know the password.
No. Yeah. And this is the thing, I like to educate my clients to try and put photographs up on their wall, to print, literally just to print, a beautiful family portrait, just to print it and have it on the wall. ASAP. They always say they're going to leave it, but we're so time starved these days. We just don't have time to do it.
Exactly.
The amount of clients that come to me that say, we got married 3 years ago, but we never printed anything. And now here we are with our first baby. And I'm sort of saying, if I had a choice on one hand to say, take a USB, or the other hand, just to say, pick one beautiful picture and I'll print it for you now and just put it on the wall, I would always say, take the picture, forget about the rest. Just take the picture and just put it on your wall. Go home, put it on your wall now, because it's our legacy.
So just briefly talk us through how you approach things right from the start when people come to you.
For me, I'll start with the journey of life and photographing a pregnant mum, a first-time mum. So they'll come to me and they'll have, they'll look at my photographs, maybe my website or Facebook page, and they'll come to me and they don't really know what it is they're looking for, but they just want to be able to document the bump stage. And I'll talk them through the best time to come, which is between week 30 and week 34, just because they're most glowing. They have they're just radiant at this stage. And what I want to get from their shoot is just for them to embrace their bodies, their new figures. Back in the day, I don't know, 30, 40 years ago, pregnancy was all kind of hidden, and you used to have a big tent style dress and kind of hide it away and just not talk about it much. But now you can see in magazines and on the media and everything, the bump is to be shown off. It's only there for 9 months or 8 months. And I just want women to feel empowered. And so I've invested in some beautiful, stunning gowns, maternity gowns. And there's a video on this actually on my website, not my website, sorry, my Facebook page, which shows the journey of a maternity shoot, of the mum looking through the gowns and just trying on the different gowns and seeing which one's going to suit them best. And the reason I invested in these maternity gowns is because I want the mums to look and feel like a princess and really show their new figure off. And I don't just mean sort of just touching and holding the bump. I mean really hands on your hips, head held high. This is me. This is my beautiful bump. I can't wait to meet my newborn baby, and just really embrace it. And I often just get the mum on their own, not with their husbands or partners, just really kind of standing strong. And I will teach them the poses when they come. So nobody knows what they're going to be doing when they get here. They look at my work, but on my website, but I actually spend a good 10, 15 minutes teaching them how to pose, and I get them to mirror me. So I'm standing there and I'll get them to sort of, take this stance or take that stance and put their elbow out or make their hand a bit more elegant, or I'll get them to mirror me so I'm doing it so they can see what they're doing. I literally did a Zoom viewing yesterday, and I don't actually do Zoom viewing sessions, but obviously we're in a pandemic, and when I was able to open for that 2 or 3 weeks just before lockdown 3, I managed to fit in a few shoots and maternity shoots, and literally I had a Zoom session yesterday and the clients just said to me, those images blow me away. We haven't even bought our wedding photography. The maternity images are better than our wedding photography, and that was 3 years ago. We haven't printed anything. We haven't done, and that just made me want to cry, And it's because of the stances that I got them to stand in, and they couldn't believe it was them, because they came to me and they were so nervous and shy, and they said in their little consultation, look, we don't know what we're doing. We're not showy people. We just want something to have a memory of. And they couldn't believe it was them. And watching them on the Zoom, they were sort of all giggly and embarrassed, and they were hugging each other, and you could see they were so eager to, they couldn't believe what they were seeing, that was them. And it's just lovely to see that.
And tell us about your generational photographing project then.
Whenever clients come to me for family portraits, they tend to forget about their grandparents. And I always say to them, have you thought about bringing, mum and dad along, grandparents, just for a quick shot, 10 minutes, and away they can go again. I just think it's really important to photograph grandparents, and they tend to get forgotten about, especially when I'm doing the newborn stuff. I always say, do you want to bring mum and dad along? They're often there helping anyway. This is obviously before the pandemic, if they aren't in the bubble. Just because you can get some stunning portraits of grandparents.
So what are your thoughts about International Women's Day then?
It's a lovely way for women to just stand up, be proud. Exactly what I say mums should do in their photographs. Just embrace themselves. Embrace motherhood, embrace being a woman. Embrace your body. Hold your head up high and be strong, and just be proud of yourself.
So, can you finally give us your social media details, please?
Yes, so my website is www.peekaboostudios.co.uk, and my Facebook page is www.facebook.com/Peekaboo Studios UK, and I am on Instagram as well.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us.
It's been lovely to chat. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate that.
All right.
Bye.